What's going on, everybody? You know who it is. This is Austin, and this is the Austin Smith Real Estate Podcast, where we talk about real estate and we talk about lifestyle. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be featuring me and me only. And first off, I just wanted to thank everyone who has listened to the podcast this far. This is the 10th episode. So we reached the 10 episode milestone. Next milestone probably won't come until 25 or 50, the next episode. But I wanted to thank everyone that has taken the time to listen to the content that I've been providing. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you so much. Hopefully you continue to still listen. But I just wanted to thank you for helping me reach the 10th episode milestone in this very short journey to begin with. So jumping into, before we jump into today's show and today's topic, a little bit of housekeeping. If you or anyone that you know has received any value from the Austin Smith Real Estate Podcast, please log on to iTunes, leave me a rating and review. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's continue to share this message. And obviously, if you know anyone that can be of extreme benefit to the listeners, the guests of this podcast, please let me know. Let's get them on the show so we can continue to share this quality information. Without further ado, let's get into the show. This is the show. So, how to buy multiple properties with an FHA loan. Because the stigma is that you can buy one property with an FHA loan. And I'm going to clear up some of that in a minute. But your FHA loan, a lot of individuals think of it as your first-time homebuyer's loan, the infamous 3.5% down. It's a very attractive loan. Understandable. But the buck doesn't stop there. And as we continue to change, or, as far as this generation, as we continue to change and have different ideologies about things that were presented to us in a one-size-fits-all. For example, you have to go to college to get your degree, and then you go work and everything like that. And obviously, over the years, people have challenged that ideology, and people have started to change the ideology of, is your house an investment or is it a liability? There's all different concepts and ideas and theories that we've begun to challenge, and I want to start to challenge your ideology on the FHA loan. With the FHA loan, like I mentioned, 3.5% down. A lot of people go after it either for their primary residence, or, a lot of individuals will go after it for investment purposes, which is what I like to preach. But what if you had the opportunity to purchase multiple properties with just 3.5% down? Most of the times, after you purchase your first home with an FHA loan, the next property that you choose to buy is usually conventional, and you're usually forced to put 10, 15, 20% down. But you can buy multiple properties with FHA, 3.5% down. I'm going to give you both sides of the coin. We're going to talk about it on investment purposes, and we're also going to be talking about it on the single family aspect of it. But there is one key aspect to allow you to purchase multiple properties with an FHA loan. And that key concept is refinancing. So what do I mean by that? Me and my fiance are currently refinancing our current home that is in an FHA loan. We are refinancing, basically converting it into a conventional loan, which will then free up another FHA opportunity. So there you have it right off the back. You have purchasing a home. In this case, we purchased a multifamily investment property. Purchased that particular home with an FHA loan. Now refinancing it into a conventional loan, which will allow the opportunity to purchase another home with an FHA loan. We put one particular mortgage in my fiance's name, and now we are currently under contract on our next property, which will be in my name, which I am purchasing it with an FHA loan. But you can see right off the back, if you are by yourself, then you'll have to refinance out of your current FHA loan in order to purchase a new one. But if you do it with a partner, spouse, girlfriend, fiance, business partner, husband, hubby, you could essentially put two mortgages in each of your names if you do it separate. So we put the first FHA loan in my fiance's name. We're purchasing this property in my name under FHA. So right off the back, let's take it a step back. Assume we never even refinanced our original home out of the FHA loan into conventional. If she bought, and we could have done this at the same time, if she put the first property in an FHA loan, I essentially would have been able to go out and buy a property under my name in an FHA loan. So of course, with the mentality that we have using our FHA loans to buy investment properties, we now have two investment properties with an FHA loan. Now, fast forward, we refinance my fiance's mortgage out of an FHA loan into a conventional loan. I'm still purchasing. We haven't closed yet. We're still under contract. I'm purchasing our newest investment property, FHA loan. But with my fiance's mortgage now being converted into a conventional loan, we now have the opportunity to now purchase another multifamily investment property with an FHA loan. Now, here's the key. Your FHA pre-approval process will be a little bit different, I should say. You won't necessarily be able to go after whichever home, any home, doesn't matter. Just use your FHA loan. There are some restrictions. The banks, the lenders will be able to see that a home was previously purchased with an FHA loan. So they're not going to necessarily give you another FHA loan without asking a couple of questions. And the main reason why is because obviously the banks, in this case Fannie Mae, government, don't want individuals buying investment properties left and right with 3.5% down. So what are the ways around that? The new property that you're purchasing in an FHA loan, if you've already purchased in an FHA loan, and just to have some clarification, if your current home, if you already have an FHA loan currently, you will not be able to purchase another FHA home. You can only have one home with an FHA loan. And that's why I'm putting heavy emphasis on the aspect of refinancing in order for you to open up another FHA credit for yourself. So with using your FHA loan, now we have the opportunity to go after another FHA property. But there are some restrictions. What are those restrictions? The home has to be better. And what do I mean by that? It either has to be bigger, square footage wise. Maybe it's renovated, brand new, newly renovated. Maybe it's in a better area, but it has to be an upgrade. You are going to have to convince the underwriter when you're purchasing a new property in an FHA loan, if you've already had one and refinanced in a conventional, you are going to have to convince the underwriter, the lender, when they're reviewing your file as you're looking to purchase, You're going to have to convince them that the home that you are currently buying is an upgrade. So it'll be key that you consult with your mortgage officer before to make sure that the home that you're going after satisfies those requirements. And the other aspect in regards to the refinancing is just the repeat concept. Here's a perfect example, and it's called the 4-3-2-1 model. Starting off with a 4-family investment property, buying that FHA. You refinance out of that FHA into a conventional loan. And you're usually able to do that within about a 6-month window after you actually close on the home. Now, in order to refinance into a conventional loan, you'll have to be financially able to take on a conventional loan. So obviously the banks and the lenders are just going to verify that you have the income, the credit score, the debt to income ratio that satisfies for a conventional loan. Not only that, your home has to have enough equity in it in order to appraise for a conventional loan. So those are the other two things just to keep in mind. But starting off with a 4-family, you purchase it FHA, some time has gone by, and now you choose to refinance it into a conventional loan. You refinance into a conventional loan, that opens another FHA loan for you. You go purchase a 3-family. And for the banks, if they see you stepping down from a 4-family down to a 3, down to a 2, down to a 1, you're upgrading your quality of life because you're removing tenants from your home. Essentially, you're subtracting tenants from your control. And what that means for the lender in their ideology is that the individual that's purchasing, they're purchasing because they want to improve their quality of life, either family-wise. Now it's the time where, okay, the banks can understand, okay, the individual's moving from a 4 to a 3, a 2 to a 1 to improve their quality of life, no longer managing tenants. The banks can understand that. 4-3-2-1 model allows you to leverage your FHA loan 4 times and allow you to capitalize on 3 investment properties and 1 primary single-family residence. Now, obviously, those multifamily investments, they can't be next to each other. You won't be able to buy, if you're in the same area, you won't be able to buy, the 4-family, the 3, the 2 on the same block, even if they were all available for sale. Because remember, it has to be some type of upgrade. Now, from 4 to, going from a 4 to a 3 can be quote unquote an upgrade. But you're going to want to go to, if you're not going to war with the lender, but obviously anyone that is going to war, you want to be able to go with an assault rifle and not just a pistol. So you don't want just moving from a 4 to a 3 or a 2 to a 1 to be your only line of defense on why this is considered an upgrade for the lender. The more factors that you have behind you, the better. Are you moving from a 4 to a 3 where your 4-family wasn't nowhere near as upgraded, and now you're moving into a 3-family that's upgraded, that's in a much better area? You have a better opportunity. Are you moving from a 3 to a 2, and you're getting a lot more square footage, maybe a bigger, an extra bedroom on the better side of town? More ammo. The more ammo that you go with, the better that you will be when it comes down to refinancing out of an FHA loan and opening up a new FHA credit. So what are we going to do? After we close on this property with my FHA loan, we are then going to be searching for our 3rd investment property, which in my fiance's case, it has to, I've already consulted with my lender. It has to be a 2-family. because we originally purchased a 2-family. So going from a 2 to a 3, the banks are going to be like, not so quite. Going from a 2 to a 4, not so quite. What are you trying to do? Going from a 2-family in our current area of Newark and purchasing a 2-family in either a different area in Newark, but we're going to have to convince the lenders that this is a much better area. Either that, or we're going to have to go to an entirely new city. And the multifamily might have to be upgraded. It might have to be, newly renovated. We're going to cross that bridge. But my lender is going to be with us every step of the way. And my lender is Chris Bauer, who I bought on episode 1. He's going to be with us every step of the way to make sure, okay, if we're going to be going after this particular multifamily, are we going to face headwinds based off of what we have to prove that this is an upgrade? Everything checks out, we'll be right on it. In my case, and mind you, this is the FHA loan that's only in her name. In my case, with the current property that we're under, this one's going to be a pretty interesting deal because although I can't go from a 3 to a 4, I can go from a 3 to a 2 to a 1. So my current property that we purchased, it has 2 bedrooms on the inside, and assuming, fingers crossed, knock on wood, hopefully everything works out, great, and we get a chance to close on this property. I believe that it has excellent potential, and that I feel like I can add a lot of value to it. One way, just right off the back, it's 2 bedrooms in each unit, or it's 2 bedrooms on the first 2 units, 1 bedroom on the third. But the 2 units with 2 bedrooms in there, they have enough space, or the configuration will allow me to add an extra bedroom in each. So it's going to go from a 2 to a 3. So I'm going to be doing 3 bedroom, and then 1 bedroom on the 3rd floor. I'm going to be buying it with 2 bedrooms in it. And where our current price point is, when I renovate it, I believe that I'm going to be able to create at least anywhere between, I'm hoping I can create an extra 50 to 60K in equity by adding these bedrooms. So what's going to happen? I'm increasing the value. So when I go to refinance in a few months, conventionally, I should have no problem with the refinance, especially with the value that I added to the property. At that point, you already know what's next. Repeat. Going to be looking for that would be our 1, 2, she's got the 3rd. That will be our 4th. That'll be our 4th investment property. That will probably have to be either a 3-family in a better area as an upgrade, or it's going to have to be a 2, but I won't be able to scale up. So that'll be 4 investment properties with FHA loan. Assuming I either get a 3 or a 2, for layman's terms, let's say I get another 2-family. I'm going to do the same thing, and eventually that's going to be, an extra property. So we could potentially have 4 to 5 investment properties using the FHA loan 3.5% down. Now, eventually, me and my fiance, we're not going to want to live in multifamily investments forever. We can sacrifice it now while we're still young and using the hustle to build our legacy and to build our empire. So as we build our empire, eventually we're going to want to get a home of our own, and we'll do just that. The interesting part about it is that with any single family home coming from a multifamily, we believe that we're not going to face any headwinds when it comes time to purchase the single family home, which we are going to do with 3.5% down. And the only reason why is because as much as we think a single family home is an asset, it's a liability. And we're still, don't get it twisted, we're still flirting with the idea of renting a single family home. We're not totally against that. And the only reason why is because any liquid cash, if we're going to take, even if we spent, $10,000 as far as a down payment or whatever the case on a home that we then have to pay for after, continue paying for after, we're much rather would take at least that amount of liquid cash. Now, that liquid cash, $10,000, instead of dropping that on something in which we still have to continue the payments for, it would be better spent putting that money to work, because the money can work harder than any of us humans can. So I also wanted to point out that, and even with renting it itself, at that point, I only have to worry about a month and a half security deposit. My rent is probably gonna, whatever my rent is, but at least renting where you want to live. You don't rent, the $800 apartment, or you don't rent, in the war zones just to rent and keep your expenses low. No, you can still rent a very nice home in a very nice area of where you want to live. No problem. You only have to worry about your month and a half security deposit. You have to pay rent. If anything goes wrong, the landlord's going to take care of it. Now I'm the landlord talking to my landlord. So, but all that to say that we're capitalizing every ounce that we can with our FHA 3.5% down loans. Any other investment loans, they're going to be a higher down payment. So we're going to take advantage of the opportunity as much as possible. And obviously, we're not going to do anything unethical. If the lender says that we can't do it, we can't do it. Nothing we could do about that. But obviously, we're going to put ourselves in a position to win. Single family, multifamily, doesn't matter, 3.5% down. You want to use it to your advantage, because you can even still do it with a single family home. Even if you were to purchase a single family home with an FHA loan and refinance it into a conventional, you can still go after another single family home. Obviously, you'll just have to convince the lender that it's an upgrade. But that's how you purchase multiple properties with an FHA loan. And with the opportunity that we have now in a market and an environment where individuals are becoming more aware of investing early in real estate to build wealth, you now have an opportunity to purchase investment property, and don't even look at it just as investment property. Look at it as a business. Real estate is a business still. Landlording is a business. So 3.5% down on a business. You now become a real estate investor, and you now become a business owner. I can still write repairs off on my tax returns. Profit and loss. What's coming in versus what's going out. What can I write off on my taxes? Real estate is still a business. And you're putting 3.5% down on that business. So, to recap, to purchase multiple properties with an FHA loan, you'll have to focus on refinancing out of that FHA loan into a conventional loan, which will then free up another FHA loan opportunity, at least another FHA loan opportunity. The other way, if you have a partner, I say it all the time, everyone says it, teamwork makes the dream work. Whatever you lack, somebody else will have. It's no longer credit. It's no longer money. That's no longer the reason why you have to sit on the sidelines as everybody else continues to buy property. Find a partner. Find someone that you trust. Go at it together. Purchase one property in one individual's name, FHA. Purchase the other property in your name, FHA. Start with two properties. Divide and conquer. Refinance out of those, rinse and repeat until you can no longer use any more FHA loans. Because then at that point, it just becomes regular real estate investing. Whether it's 10, 15, 20%, whether you find a deal and bring on partners in which you only have to bring 5% or even no money to the table, you start to get into your creative financing techniques. But at least with FHA, 3.5% down. Max it out, and your future self will thank you forever. And that's what I wanted to cover. And I know I ranted a little bit, but that's okay. But the opportunities are out there. Go seize them. Obviously, if you need anything, just let me know. Let's continue to build together. Thank you so much for listening and getting me to the 10th episode. I've gotten some great feedback. I'm hoping, or not hoping, I intend to make this podcast bigger and better guests, bigger and better content, bigger and better strategies. This is just the beginning, and I'm thankful for y'all for allowing me the opportunity to talk your ear off while simultaneously bringing you valuable content from what I'm seeing in the real estate world. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Austin Smith, host of the Austin Smith Real Estate Podcast, signing off.